scary.
Again, we were like the only ones on the street.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. And we've got our trusty fan here, so therefore I don't turn into a pile of ash halfway through davening, which is great. And it's, of course, the sun's ducked a little bit behind, which has also garnered me some shelter. I hope this week has brought everyone a good amount of productivity and brought you to a place where you can look back as we begin Shabbat and sort of kind of look back at the week and say, wow, I really have created a world this week. And like God did, you can step back and relax and take a deep breath. As I always say about Shabbat, if it was good enough for God, it must be good enough for me. And if God could take a day off, then I can too. So hopefully we go into Shabbat understanding that we have, in our own very specially created a world this week. We're going to begin with Shalom Aleichem, page 5, in our Red Serim, so your left Shalom. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharim, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Moachem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruch Hu Ni L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Tzevchem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We continue on page 11 with the first psalm, Lechuna Ranana, first psalm of Shabbat, for Shabbat. Lechuna Ranana l'Adonai, Nariya letzur Yishenu, Nechad machanav betodah, Mizmirot Nariya lo, Kiel Gadol Adonai, Umelech Gadol al kol Elohim, Asher be'ado mecherei haaretz, v'toachot harim lo. Shalom. Arba'im shenakut bator ve'omar to'e levavchem ve'hem lo yadu derachai asher nishpati ve'afi im yavon al minuchati. Page 13. Shir Adonai, Shir Chadash, Shir Adonai, Kol Haaretz, Shiru Adonai Baruch Hu Shemo, Basru Yom Liyom Yeshuato. Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, ישמחו השמיים ותגל הארץ. ישמחו השמיים, ישמחו השמיים, ישמחו השמיים ותגל הארץ. יירם הים, יירם הים, יירם הים ומלואו, יירם הים, יירם הים, יירם הים ומלואו. יל שדי אשר בו, אדוני כל התייר לפני אדוני כי בא אדוני לשפוט הארץ, ישפוט תבל בצדק בימים באמונתו. Page 15, Adonai melech tegel haaretz, is melech rabim, anan, vel tzvivav, tzadik mishpat nachon kiso. Or Zarul HaTzadik Oshrei Lev Simcha Simchu Tzadikim Adonai V'Adol Zercha Kodsho. Page 17. Shir Adonai Shir Chadash Iniflo Tahasa Shir Allah Yimina V'Zro Kodsho. Zamru Adonai Vechinor, Vechinor Vekol Zimra, Be'azazrot Vekol Shofar, Haril Livnei HaMelech Adonai, Yiram Hayam Umlo, Tevel Ve'yoshvei Ba, Page 19, Adonai Malach Amayim. Join me at the carrot on page 20. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishakavu lehar kosho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishakavu lehar kosho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishakavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishakavu lehar kodsho. Page 21. Glory le David. Havul Adonai b'nei Elim, Havul Adonai kavod va'os, Havul Adonai kavod shemo, Yishakavu Adonai be'adrat kodesh, Kol Adonai ha'amayim, el ha'kavod yirim, Adonai Shaber Adonai et Arzei Lebanon, Vayarkitem kemo egel Lebanon ve'Sirion kemo
kodesh. Kol Adonai Yachil Midbar, Yachil Adonai Midbar Kodesh. Kol Adonai Yachol Yayalo, Ve'echasof Ye'arot, Uvechalo Kulo, Kulo Mer Kavod. Adonai Lama Pul Yashav, Vayeshev Adonai Melech Le'olam, Adonai Yos Le'amo Yitain, Adonai Yevarech et Amo Lashalom.
We turn now to page 23 for Lecha Dodi. I always have a battle with myself what tune I want to sing. And in the car drive here, I'm like, the first 15 minutes, I'm like, I'm going to do this tune. And the second 15 minutes, like, no, I'll do this tune. Then the third kind of like 5 minutes, I'm like, okay, I'll start off with this tune and end with this tune. And then by the time I get here, I'm like, I don't know what tune I want to do. Start over from scratch. But I think I'm going to stick with one of my standards, and it's one I've done in weeks prior. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat Nekabela. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat Nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Yishmiyanu elam yuchad, Adonai echad u'shmo echad, L'shemo tiferet v'litila, Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat Nekabela. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat Nekabela. Lekrat Shabbat Lechuven Elka, Ki Mekor HaBracha, Merosh Mikedem Nesucha, Sof Ma'aseh Mashvat Gila. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat Nekabela. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat Nekabela. Mikdash Melech Hir Melucha, Kumitei Mitovafacha, Rav Lakshev Bemechabacha, Vehu Yachamu Alaychela. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat Nekabela. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat Nekabela. Hina Arim Yafar Kumi, Lishi Bigdei Fartechami, Al Yad Ben Ishai Beit Halachmi, Karva Al Nafshi Ge'ala. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat Nekabela. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat Nekabela. Hitoreri, Hitoreri, Hiva Oreh Kumi Uri, 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 Shir Daberi, Kevod Adonai Alayich Nigla. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat Nekabela. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat Nekabela. Lo Tevo Shiva Lo Techami, Matishtochachi Umatechemi, Bakechasu Ani Eami, Venipta Ir Altila. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat Nekabela. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat Nekabela. Ve'hayu l'shim Zasho Asai, Ve'raha
Alaik Elohai, Kim Sos Katan Al-Kala, Lechadoti Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat Nekabela, Lechadoti Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat Nekabela, Yaminu Smol Tifroti, Ve'et Adonai Tariti, Al Yad Ish Ben Artzi, Ve'nismecha Ve'nagila, Lechadoti Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat Nekabela, Lechadoti Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat Nekabela. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, Gam besimcha u'sohala, Tov emunei am segula, Boi chala, Lechadoti likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela, Lechadoti likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. You may be seated. We turn to page 27 for the Psalm for Shabbat. Mizmor shir leyom HaShabbat, Tov le'odod l'Adonai, Ulzamer le'shimcha elyon, Ulzamer le'shimcha elyon, Le'akid b'boker chastecha, Nemunatecha b'leilon, Alei asor ve'alei nafel, Alei gion v'chinor, Mizmor shir le'yom HaShabbat, Tov le'odod l'Adonai, Uzamer le'shimcha elyon, Uzamer le'shimcha elyon. Satani Adonai God. Tzadika tamar Yifra, Keres balvanon Yizkei shetulim, Beveit Adonai, Behazrot Eloheinu Yafrichun, Od Yenuvon Beseva, Deshenim Verananim Iyu Lehagid, Ki Ashar Adonai Zuri Velo Avlatabo. We turn to page 30. Yikra v'yikra shemei Rabbah, ve'alma dibra kirte, ve'amlit makute, v'chayikonim v'mechon, v'heituchol b'it Yisrael, v'galav yisman kari ve'imevru. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach, le'alamo me'almaya, yitbarach, yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yipar v'yitromam v'yinasei, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yital hashmei kudesha, v'reichu, Leila mikol berchata v'shirata, toshbechata v'nechemata, Damiran v'yalma v'imevru. Yehi shlom harav v'min shemayim, v'chaim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imevru. Osei shalom v'rama, v'yasei shalom aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael, v'yal kol Yeshvei tevel v'imevru. exercise my voice for a little bit. Otherwise, it was going to sound like it was the beginning of my bar mitzvah weekend. And I don't think anybody in this room wants that. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. My streaming service to record the opening ceremonies of the Olympics. And the Olympics, I'm in one of two camps every year with the Olympics. I love the Olympics. As a 5-year-old kid, I remember in 1984 when the Olympics were in Los Angeles, and my father torched the final legs of the my father put me up on his shoulders so I could see the torch marathon coming down the road. And those memories stick in my head every time I think about the Olympics. I think about my own personal experience. And of course, the Olympics will be returning to Los Angeles in just another 4 years in 2028, with pretty much using the same venues that they used in 1984. And once again, just like in '84, they're redoing the entire airport just for the sake of accommodating all the traffic. But the reason why then the other camp I'm stuck in is that I always worry about the Olympics because every time the television coverage is worse and worse and worse. And I don't feel like waking up in the middle of the night or seeing something tape recorded when the beauty of connectivity today means I can find out the results of anything before they even broadcast the event. But nonetheless, today I wanted to be sure to see the opening ceremonies. One, because I get so much pride when I see the United States delegation, as it's always extremely large. And then I always like to critique their outfits that they're wearing every year. But I always like to see the large U.S. contingent that arrives at the Olympic Games every year. And then, of course, this year, there are always a number of countries that I have personal connections to that I like to see come out. I always like to see how large the Canadian delegation is when they come out. And my time living and studying in Canada, I remember being living in Canada in 2010 when Vancouver hosted the Winter Olympics, to see how much pride a country can take in hosting the Olympics. But most importantly, I wanted to see the Israeli delegation today. It has been on my mind, and I'm sure it has been on the mind of everyone, just about the personal safety of the Israeli delegation. Not only do we wish them well in competition, but certainly we want to see them thrive securely in Paris and be able to compete without threat, compete without anti-Semitism, compete and mingle with the other athletes without fear of being criticized just for the simple fact of being Israeli. We want them to enjoy the spirit of the games, which brings all nations together in the unity of what can be the competition in sport. And then I was jarred this morning when I woke up and heard about the terrorist attack on the Paris subway, and then my mind immediately went to, are the Israeli athletes safe? That was my immediate thought, went to them. Thankfully they are. And thankfully they walked out with such pride as every other athlete holding their nation's flag does at the Olympic Games. They are prideful in representing their country. They are prideful in being able to represent their country, represent Israel to others, and of course for them, being able to represent their families. And this is the culmination of all of their years of hard work just to be and compete at these games, and only knows what's going to happen, what medals they might win. But I think the most important thing is that they've won the gold already just by being there, just by standing there without fear, saying, we are standing and competing here under the flag of Israel.
and we are proudly Israelis. Just as we have the right to do as Americans and say, when an American wins in gymnastics or wins in track and field, notice how NBC only shows the events that Americans are sure to win medals in. That's also part of the criticism. But we have pride when we see Simone Biles, warming up today, getting ready for gymnastics competition, because we know that she's going to bring pride to our country. The track and field people, we know that they're going to be even before the opening ceremony. The U.S. soccer team competed, and we wanted to see them win, even though they lost to France. We wanted to see them compete and represent our country in all of our values. The reason why I bring this up is because we have to, as we view these games and beyond, as a Jewish community in the diaspora, have to begin to think about and concretely explain our own personal relationship with Israel. Our congregation, throughout the course of this next year, is going to assist you in building that relationship. We recently received a grant from United Synagogue to do more Israel programming within this congregation over the next year, and the goal of that programming is to bridge the thousands of miles between us and Israel, is to bring Israel a little closer to home here in Arizona. So throughout the course of the year, we're going to be doing a bunch of programming, everything from learning about the history of Israel, the history of Zionism, to experiential programming like Israeli cooking and dance, and all sorts of things that are going to help you evaluate and understand what your own personal relationship is to Israel, and how we as American Jews, and those who may in this room have family and friends who live in Israel, how we can be a part of that pride of representing the flag of Israel, standing under it with pride and understanding that it is part of our identity as well. Those athletes are not just competing for their own country, but in today's climate, they are competing for Jews all around the world. To stand up and say that we are not afraid of who we are. We are not afraid to stand under the Magen David with pride and openly say that we are represented by that as well. So I hope you take advantage of the opportunities that we are going to present you during the course of this year. And as they become public, tell your friends, bring your neighbors, bring people who wrestle and hug with Israel, but want to know more about it and want to become a little bit closer to it in more ways than just debating the current political and military strategic issues of the day. Israel is a beautiful sovereign nation that not only represents itself, but also represents the diaspora as well. So think about it as you watch those games and look at those athletes with not only your eyes, but also with your hearts, because they're standing there for you and me and all of our community. Shabbat Shalom. We turn now to page 39 as we rise for the Baruch as we begin the evening service. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Uma'avir Yom Uve'layla Mavdil Ben Yom Uve'in Layla Adonai Tzvot Shemo El Chai V'Kayam Tamid Yimloch Aleinu Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Hamari V'Ravim. Page 40. Avat Olam
Ve'avtecha tasir mimeni le'olamim, Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev amo Yisrael. The Shema can be found on page 41. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, bechol levavcha, bechol nafshecha, bechol me'otecha, ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele, asher anochi metzavecha, hayom al levavecha, ve'shinantam levanecha, ve'dibarta bam, ve'shivtecha b'beitecha, uvlechtecha b'derech, uvshoktecha uvkumecha, ukshartam leot ha'itecha, ve'ayu letotefot b'neinecha, uvtavtam amuzo b'beitecha, uvisharecha dayah. Page 44. Malchut Tobratam Kivlu Aleichem, Moshe Miriam Ubnei Yisrael Echad B'Shirah, B'Simcha Rabbah V'Amru Kulam, Mi Chamocha Elim Adonai, Mi Chamocha Nedar B'Kodesh, Norah Teila Osef Eleh, Malchut Haruven Echad Yam Lifnei Moshe, Zeli Anu V'Amru, Adonai Yimloch Le'olam Va'ed, V'nehemar Kifar Adonai Et Yaakov, U'go'alo Mi'ad Hazak Mimenu, Baruch Atah Adonai, Gal Yisrael. Ashkivenu can be found on page 45. Ashkivenu, Morteitenu, Venu L'chaim L'shalom, Yatavi Ad Olam, Ufros Aleinu, Sukkot Shlomecha, Baruch Atah Adonai, Apares Sukkot Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Amo Yisrael, Ve'al Yerushalayim. We rise page 46 for Veshamru. Veshamru B'nei Yisrael, Et HaShabbat, La'asot et HaShabbat, Le'torotam berit olam. Veshamru B'nei Yisrael, Et HaShabbat, La'asot et HaShabbat, Le'torotam berit olam. Beni uvein B'nei Yisrael, Oti le'olam, Oti le'olam, Oti le'olam. Veshamru B'nei Yisrael, Et HaShabbat, Shabbat Ledorotam Berit Olam. Ubayom Hashvi Shabbat Vayinafash Shabbat Vayinafash Shabbat Vayinafash Veshamru Bnei Yisrael Et HaShabbat La'asot Et HaShabbat Ledorotam Berit Olam. Yikara v'yikara Shemei Rabbi Ve'alma divrach yirutei ve'amlich malchutei B'chayechon u'v'yamechon u'chayeta kol Beit Yisrael B'gala b'gala u'bizman kariv ve'meru Amen. Yesh me'raba mevorach me'alamo me'almaya Yitbarach ve'yishabach v'yitbar v'yitraman v'yidaseh ve'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudsha rechu leila min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran mi'ama ve'meru. The silent Amidah for Shabbat, for Ma'ariv service can be found on page 47. You can either use the words on the page, be guided by them, or use the prayers of your heart. The Amidah continues till page 52. Take a moment to pray for those in our community who are in need of healing with Misha Berach. Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor Abracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. This Shabbat we pray for healing for David ben Avraham, Rivka Brina, Yenta Getel bat Hinda Shmaya HaKohen, Nachum ben Moshe v'Chana Rivka, Herschel Shalom ben Anshel, Ruth bat Sima, Elka Adel bat Bella, Mordechai ben Ruth, David ben Elisheva, Scott Tucker, Marlene Tucker, Chaim Melech ben Ephraim, Avraham ben Meir, Moshe ben Rael, Judy Zola, Zalman Zvi ben Abba Herschel, Yehudit bat Yocheved, Yitzchak HaLevi ben Miriam, Vicky Berg, Mordechai ben Rachel, Hessa bat Brina, Annette Rotolo, Malka Devora bat Shifra, Yehuda Braun, Tova Gela bat Chaya, Neil Rosenblum, Harav Masha Rachel bat Golda Leah, Isa ben Miral, Daniel Ivory, Peniel ben Sarah, Shana bat Nisan, Eileen Martin, Yankel Hirsch ben Malka, Tova Tikva bat Ruth, Cyril Rashka bat Chaya Pearl, Aharon ben Lisa, Yael bat Chaya Sora, Eleazar, Leib ben Sarah Elka, Jeannie Eisenberg, Philip Eisenberg, Nisan ben Fredo, Reuven ben Chaya Riva, Esther Batya bat Liba, Michael Donahue, Leon Levine, Shoshana Sharon bat Hana, Shmuel Velvel ben Devorah, Chaya bat Devorah, John Gronick, Mayor David ben Brindle, Rivka Shendel bat Hana, Shalom ben Pesel, Chaim Michael ben Yocheved, Eliyahu David ben Chaya bat Abraham Basara. Mekor Abracha, loving with refuah shlema, full of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. We rise, page 56, for Aleinu. Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol, lateit gedula leotzer breshit, shelo asanu ki'ui aratzon, velo samanu k'mishpachot hadama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gohor aleinu kechol amonam, v'anachnu korim, u'mishachavim u'motim, Lifnei Melech, Malkei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Pagatu b'Toratech, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai, le'melech al kol haaretz, v'yom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo, This week we honor the yurtzeit of Barney Romanoff, grandfather of Buzz Romanoff, Marjorie Romanoff, mother of Buzz Romanoff, Frida Silverman, mother of Alan Silverman, Helene Ruth Shiner, sister of Stephen Shiner, Elaine Ruderman, mother-in-law of Diane Ruderman, Lillian Medress, mother of Harvey Medress, Samuel Orloff, grandmother of Robin Wolfe, Sarah Dershowitz, mother of Mark Dershowitz, Yetta Drazen, maternal grandmother of Michael Hammerman, June McCannery, grandmother of Chias Yagu, Maureen Dorn, mother of Megan Jolowick and grandmother of Theo Jolowick, Sam Resnick, father of Maxine Weindruch, Gary Miller, son of Dory Miller, Sarah Fox, mother of Skeeter Marcus, Sidney Becker, father of Hindi Dershowitz, Florence Bankendorf, mother of Elliot Bankendorf,
Herman Kaplan, father-in-law of Ed Schwartz, Arnold Rosner, father of Risa Fern. Anyone else here observing a yahrzeit? May their memories forever be a blessing. Those observing yahrzeit, please join me, are in mourning or thinking of a loved one who they've lost. Please join me, page 58 for Kaddish Yotam. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei rabbah, v'yalmad ivra kirutei, v'yamlik malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayev tekol beit Israel, v'agala v'izman kariv v'imru.
Amen.
Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach le'olam u'omei omaya. Yitbarach v'yishabach v'yitpahar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei kedusha v'richu le'elah min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran v'yalma v'imru Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Osei shalom v'imrumav Huya say shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru. Amen. I now invite up Steve. Thank you for doing messages. Announcements. Any good ones?
Usual. We had a couple new ones today.
Good. I like new ones even.
Skip the old one.
Thank you,
Just do the new
Steve.
ones. Shabbat shalom, everybody. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you to everybody who's joining us online as well. Thank you to Maureen Arbery for leading services tonight. And to Pam Carson for your technical assistance and for your assistance with the Kiddush as well. A few things. It is the time of year where we're asking everyone to make their Gift of the Heart pledge. If you haven't done that yet, please do so. You can go to the website, or you can look at the letter that you received from the congregation and follow the instructions there. But please take a moment and do that. Now's a good time. Families with Littles is having a splash day, Sunday, August 4th, 9 a.m. at the JCC. You can see the bulletin for more information on that. We have an open house for the Rosgadell Religious School. That will be on Sunday, August 11th at 10 a.m. So if you want to meet your teachers or things like that, people can come for that. Tisha B'Av is August 12th and 13th, the evening of August 12th. We will be having joint services with Bethel congregation that evening on August 12th at 6 p.m. And then on August 13th, the next morning, we will be having services at Temple Beth Shalom. At 9 a.m. And then Mincha is here at 1:30. So we're covering the whole valley for just
One big circle.
yeah. So please join us for any or all of those services. Families with Little Shabbat is Friday, August 16th at 5 p.m. And those are a couple of the new things. Services tomorrow at 9:30. Please join us for Shabbat services tomorrow. And Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Steve. All right. Let's get you to your dinner plans. Never stand between Jews and their food in life. If you want to join us for Kiddush on page 55, we rise for Kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hakodsho v'yama uvratzon hinila lemivrei kodesh zeker tziyat mitzrasha mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha v'yama uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat chaim. Have more sugar. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat 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 shalom. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. May you have a Shabbat of peace and a Shabbat of rest. May you restore your souls to get ready to do another week's work of good work. Shalom. I'll see you. Yes, on the 4th. On the 4th. Shabbat Shalom.